The Bud Light boycott is working, so much so, and a lot of people recently have been saying that it's falling off. The sales numbers aren't going down as much as they used to. They're still 24/25% down. Like, that's a ton of money. Like, that's for a company as big as Anheuser Busch, for a company and a brand as big as Bud Light, that's a ton of money that they're losing. Like, imagine how much money that they're making every single week, and imagine 25% of that money going away, week over week, because these weeks are being compared to weeks last year. It's not like every single week there's 25% more of the sales gone. It's down 25/24% down from this same time as last year. So it's a crazy amount of money that they're losing, and it's becoming very obvious that they're hurting really bad. They're doing things as desperate and as embarrassing as buying back their own beer. As you can see on the screen right here, Bud Light is losing so badly, it's buying back its own beer. This article is from Outkick. It says Bud Light continues to take right hook after right hook to the face. The beer brand has been under intense scrutiny for nearly 2 months after it partnered with Dylan Mulvaney, the transgender activist who is most well known for mocking women while pretending to be a little girl. Ever since the March Madness collaboration was shared at the start of April, BL has seen a huge drop in sales, and there's no end in sight. It's very true. The Bud Light boycott is working, and in my opinion, it's not slowing down anytime soon. It's just not that hard to boycott Bud Light. The beer is mediocre at best. I don't even like any kind of light beer, at least any light beer that I've ever tried. People said that the light beer outside of America is a lot better. I don't drink any light beer. I think it's all gross. So in my opinion, it's just kind of like a perfect storm. Nobody really likes Bud Light that much for the taste of it, as far as I know. I'm sure there'll be a couple people in the comments saying, oh, I used to love Bud Light. It tastes so great. Yeah, I think your taste buds are messed up a little bit, man. You might want to go see a doctor. But anyway, in fact, the situation is so dire that the beer powerhouse has started buying back unsold cases of beer that have expired, according to Newsweek. Yes, Bud Light is in so much trouble, it's having to buy back expired cases of beer. If that's not a sign of how serious the situation is for the beer brand, I don't know what is. It's very true. If this is true, that Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch are buying back expired cases of Bud Light from stores, that's bad. That's about as embarrassing as it could possibly get for them. Like, that's worse than the sales numbers being down 25%. That's worse than anything. Any viral funny memes that are going viral on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever it is, this is the worst thing that they could possibly have go public. Bud Light remains in huge trouble. The situation with Anheuser-Busch and its most famous Bud Light beer, or light beer, is truly the example of a company feeling the pain caused by a very stupid decision. Not only is Anheuser-Busch's most popular brand feeling the squeeze after going woke, but things might be about to get even worse. Texas Senator Ted Cruz has suggested Bud Light should be investigated for teaming up with Dylan Mulvaney. His argument is Mulvaney's audience skews young, and people responsible for marketing the beer know it can't advertise in a fashion that could target minors. I don't even know, dude. I think that this was like sheer incompetence. Like, I don't even think you could say that there could be some insidious reasoning behind it. They were trying to hire Dylan Mulvaney to push a certain agenda, maybe even go after minors to buy their beer and things like that. What I think happened, and I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying this, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree, and you can let me know in the comments, and let me know your argument against this in the comments. I'm sure there'll be quite a bit of you who disagree. But what I think happened was there was a couple people in the marketing department that were like, hey, we want to go capture a new type of audience, and also they just wanted to hire an influencer that gets a lot of clicks, a lot of interactions, and obviously Dylan Mulvaney gets a lot of interactions. There's a lot of people who don't like Dylan Mulvaney a lot, and there's a lot of people who really like Dylan Mulvaney because he represents a certain agenda. He pushes forward a certain agenda, so of course those people are going to hitch their wagons to Dylan Mulvaney, whereas the other side is going to go very hard against Dylan Mulvaney, causing the interactions to be very high for people like Dylan Mulvaney. And I think that the marketing team for Bud Light, apparently there was a third party. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently they cut ties with that third party, or maybe it was just a couple people within the actual company of Bud Light, everyday employees of Bud Light, whatever the case may be. I think what happened is they saw that Dylan Mulvaney gets a lot of interactions. They get a lot of clicks on TikTok. They have a lot of followers and things like that. And also, it's a new audience. It's a new demographic, a different type of demographic that Bud Light usually goes for. I think it's as simple as they see a lot of followers, they see a lot of interaction, and they see that the interactions are from an audience that Bud Light normally doesn't target. So they hire Dylan Mulvaney without thinking of the repercussions. I don't think it was them trying to target minors. I don't think it was them even trying to push a certain agenda. I know you're probably going to disagree with that, and it could be. I could be completely wrong. It could very well be the ESG scores. I'm not trying to say that this is 100% what happened, because the ESG score theory is, very plausible one. I think that probably did play somewhat of a part in it, if not the entire thing being centered around that. But I think a lot of this can be attributed to just sheer incompetence. I don't think it was them trying to target minors. That's just my opinion, though. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about that. I don't think that's true, but I could be completely wrong, and I'm very much open to be wrong on that. People don't want woke politics injected into their beer. They simply don't. The average Bud Light consumer wants to come home after work, pop a cold one, and unplug. It's very true, man. Very true that people just don't make political statements. It's just not that difficult. Just don't make political statements. Don't alienate half of your fan base. We've been saying it for years and years and years, not just with beer brands, not just with Bud Light, but with Hollywood, with every single corporation out there. All you have to do, make a good product and stay neutral. Just don't make any statements. Don't post any rainbows, flags for Pride Month. Just don't do any of this BS, and nothing bad is going to happen to you. Nothing at all is going to happen to you. You're not going to get boycotted if you don't post your rainbow flag for Pride Month. You're not going to lose 25% of your sales. I can promise you that. And Bud Light is definitely losing at least 25%. And I think it could even get a couple of percentage points worse. But if you're questioning, if you think that whole thing is questionable about Bud Light possibly buying back their expired beer cases, take a look at this right here. And I don't know if this is photoshopped or not. It could very well be photoshopped, but I've seen a ton of pictures just like this. It could very well be photoshopped. I don't know. But here's another one that's photoshopped. This is a funny meme. Please just take it, is the price tag on these. But dude, I'm seeing a ton of pictures like this. Maybe they're all photoshopped. I don't know. But things like this make me very much believe that Bud Light is buying back their expired Bud Light cases from their distributors. Here is a Bud Light, a whole rack of Bud Light, untouched, for $1.78. LOL, 7 cents a beer and not a case sold. Nobody is able to sell Bud Light, dude. Nobody wants to buy Bud Light because I said it before, I'll say it again. The social pressure behind this boycott is so strong that the reason that people aren't buying Bud Light is because they just don't want to be seen with Bud Light. Like, it's not, I think most people who aren't buying Bud Light, most people who are contributing to that 25% sales drop, don't even care that much about what's actually behind this boycott. They don't even care that much about the principle and the moral things that are happening behind this boycott. I think it mostly is just because they don't want to be put on TikTok for buying gay beer. They don't want to buy queer beer, and they don't want to get made fun of. And I think it's a very strong way of going about things. The social pressure is definitely more powerful than people just having strong morals and strong principles. Because, dude, most people out there just don't have that strong of morals and strong of principles. People just don't. But everybody cares about social pressure. Everybody cares about fitting in. Nobody wants to be the one that buys the gay beer. Nobody wants to be the one that goes viral on TikTok because people are making fun of them. Here is another picture from Kevin Garcia. I was at Kroger today in Tennessee, a full cooler. And I mean, dude, like I said, there's a ton of pictures. Tag me in them if you're watching this video and you have pictures from your local grocery stores, from your local gas stations, whatever it is. Tag me in them on Twitter. I'll put my Twitter in the pinned comment. Tag me in some pictures, man. I like to see them. I like to see what's going on. I like to stay plugged in to everything that's going on out there in the real world. So if you have some real world pictures that aren't photoshopped, I definitely welcome memes as well. But I like to see the ones that aren't photoshopped. I don't know if this is or not. Let me know in the comments. It doesn't look like it to me, but I don't know. It could very well be photoshopped. Either way, though, I mean, there's a ton of pictures like this out there that show Bud Light on clearance, that show Bud Light not selling, and now we have the articles coming out and saying that Bud Light is straight up having to buy back the expired cases because nobody is willing to buy this beer. Let me know what you guys thinking in the comments about this whole situation. Do you think this is true that Bud Light is able or having to buy back their own beer because they're all expiring, or do you think this is a bunch of BS? Let me know what you're thinking about the entire situation.